Today we're talking about Joe Dirt.
Anyway, I just put an E on it, pronounce it Dirte. It's no big deal. It actually sounds pretty cool.
Starring David Spade, Dennis Miller, Christopher Walken, and many, many, many more.
Fred Wolf, who we'll get to, is actually in the movie. It was him and Spade co-wrote this. He was one of the homeless guys in Dirty Work.
Yes.
I was laughing so hard I almost my pants.
Almost.
Dennis Miller has some hilarious one-liners. He's just tearing into him.
Freddie, go get Freebird Boy here in all-access laminate for the show in perpetuity. I'm ringing this chamois as long as I can.
This movie is basically Forrest Gump.
Walker told me I have AIDS.
It's in there.
It's all in there.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue music.
No, man, but you got to keep going. What am I going to do, quit? That's not an option. You got to keep on keeping on. Life's a garden, dig it? You make it work for you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Be Kind, Let's Rewind, the nostalgia podcast no one asked for. Today we're talking about Joe Dirt.
Anyway, I just put an E on it, pronounce it Dirte. It's no big deal. It actually sounds pretty cool.
Starring David Spade, and this one is near and dear to all of our hearts, of course, because it's a big comedy that we all enjoy, man. So let's start it off, man. Where you guys first remember seeing this? I was in the movie theater. Definitely saw this in the theater. Leaf, did we see this one together
I think we did. 2001, it had to have been.
Man.
We had been together on this
25-year anniversary, by the way. So we're old.
Really gross, dude.
Yeah, as we just come off the heels of our David Spade episode. I think we were working at the movie theater when this came out. So
yeah, we definitely were. So surely
we definitely saw this one, man. Shadow, what about you?
Yeah, it was definitely in the theater for me too, because I was a big David Spade fan. So any kind of sarcastic, dry wit coming from him, I was there for it.
You were there with your notebook, just taking notes, being like,
Right, and you are?
But this one too, like on the rewatch, man, this one has a banger of a soundtrack that I kind of forgot about. I guess I just took it for granted, or if you're watching Rick and Morty, took it for granted.
Really makes you think, huh, Morty? We should never take things for granted.
Shout out Morty's Mind Blowers episode. But anyway, this one I was just like, dude.
Speaking of blowing, Leaf, why were you so late today?
I mean, no one knows that, dude. It's a recorded podcast. What's your problem?
What's your problem?
What's your problem?
Yeah, Leaf's computer let him over too. Technology not working for us today at all, man. Dude, power through, man. Power through. No weeks off. I like a lot of people in the gym are like, no days off, man. And we're like, no, we just won't take a week off. Like, you can have several days off. Just, make sure you're going out every week.
Get it in.
Coors Light coming home. This seems Joe Dirt adjacent, Coors Light. So I thought, hey, I'm going to go ahead and go with that today. Leaf, what about you, man?
Well, I'm expecting Shabbat to go with the summer shaddy again, so I'm going to match that energy with Joe Dirt and do this little Jim Beam sunshine blend, dude. Whatever's left of it. It's
nice.
It's going tonight. Guaranteed.
Well, apparently Leaf doesn't know me at all, because I tried to match Joe Dirt's dirtiness with some PBR.
Damn it.
But I've noticed it's a Peter attack.
Which Shadow is hoping to get right after this episode.
Yeah.
My pants are tight.
Yeah. Somebody attack my Peter, please.
Shadow's going to walk upstairs, look at his wife, and be like, it's a Godzilla.
Looks like the mighty Kong has awoken.
From his slumber. He just plays the... Why has he got an erection walking through the house?
Dun, 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 dun.
Dude,
100%. Is that making me horny?
Yep. That's doing it, man. So, also, shout out our Rewinder of the month, Matt. I'm not going to go through the whole thing again this week. But, dude, one thing about Matt is when we went through our Spotify saga, homeboy hit us up on the email immediately. It was like, boys, everything all right over there? He's a real one when you see that, where he's like, okay, this, what's going on? And He was ready to go to war for us. So
appreciate
again,
that,
Matt,
man.
Hopefully you have gotten your swag. Thank you so much for the support. And if you want to be Rewinder of the Month, hit us up on social media, comment YouTube. Hey, there's a thing on YouTube now I noticed. It's really weird. There's a hype button. I don't know if it works or not, but if you watch us, go on when our episode drops, hit that little hype button. I think that may help us. And it's free.
To work, man.
Maybe if you don't watch the episode, still hit it.
Hit it and turn us off and go do something else.
Yeah, go do something else. That's fine too, man. So.
No, ow, that's wrong. No, that's way off.
But Joe Dirt, man, let's go ahead and get into this one because this is, like I said, a movie that we've all watched probably a bazillion times, and so has everyone else because it was definitely in syndication over and over, still to this day. Again, 25 years later, you will turn on Comedy Central and Joe Dirt will be on periodically.
I was telling you before we started tonight, I watched this like so much when it first came out that I think I kind of wore it out, and I guess I'll just lay it off of it. I got to the point where I was like, oh, it's not funny anymore. I've seen it so much. So before last night, I'd not seen it in a good 15 years probably. So there was a lot of things that I had forgotten, and I got a lot of belly laughs last night.
Fresh laughs.
Yeah, Shadwick was like, lay off me, I'm starving.
Oddly enough, that was I texted that on my way home tonight.
In a lot of interviews, David Spade actually said this wasn't one of his like biggest commercial successes, but he said that it was one that had more staying power than a lot of the other movies that he had been in and that he had made. And it's one that people will, just reference when they see him. You know how basic bitch everybody is. They'll be like, hey, it's Joe Dirt. Like they
reference
reference
the garden, dig it. And I'm sure he fucking loves that. It's probably hilarious. The 4,000th time he heard it.
He was like, hey guys, I was almost murdered on set. All right, can we?
I was almost killed in my own house, man. So anyway, Leaf, why don't you go ahead and kick us off with some boring ass facts?
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are uninitiated, Joe Dirt is a 2001 American adventure comedy film directed by Deneen Gordon and her feature film directorial debut, starring David Spade, Dennis Miller, Christopher Walken, and many, many, many more. The film had a budget of $17.7 million and recorded a delicious $31 million profit at the box office. So not terrible, not a smash success, but
this is another one of those where I really, really wish we had DVD rental numbers and even syndication numbers. This thing has to, syndication alone, this has to be paying for David Spade's houses.
I also agree with that. There's no telling untold amounts on streaming platforms and the money that this movie's raked in after the fact.
I know I had to pay for it to watch it.
Yeah, I bought it on Prime. Luckily, I bought it a long time ago on Prime. So
all these fucking streaming platforms, they know to do this because everything that we do is pretty much like on an anniversary date. So when I go to watch it, I will undoubtedly see that it'll be available like 3 days from now. Like I think April 1st is when I saw it was going to be available.
Because we record too early. Yeah. We record too early.
We're ahead of the curve, man.
It's because we're selfless.
That's why. Why do you do it, baby Billy?
Well, because I'm selfless.
But I mean, this has like a pretty all-star cast. Like it's packed. Like I
really
mentioned. I mentioned Christopher Walken, of course, but I mean Jamie Presley, which we'll get into.
Tokyo Rose of the Trailer Park.
I wish I was getting into it.
Yeah. Dennis Miller,
I got quit. Yeah, man. I always forget how much I enjoy Dennis Miller.
Yeah.
Because where like Spade has like the dry wit, Dennis Miller he's very intelligent. Like he just comes out, he's very articulate. All things I'm not in respect. That's what Dennis Miller is. And he's, they always talk about it in comedy like you shouldn't punch down, but I feel like he was great at punching down.
Oh yeah, no,
because he just like ripped everybody all the time.
He was great on the news. That was a great casting for him to do the fake news or whatever. But what I did notice, after our David Spade episode last week, watching a lot of Spade, there's a Dennis Miller cadence in Spade's delivery that I never noticed before. And finding out like he looked up to Dennis helped him, with the comedy stuff and whatever. But speaking of Christopher Walken, man. David Spade and I believe Fred Wolf paid out of pocket for Walken because they couldn't afford him. And then the studio, as the movie made money, went back and reimbursed him. But I thought that they wanted him so bad for that Clem role that they went out of pocket. And I was like, that's pretty fucking awesome.
And what a quotable role. I mean, is every line that Christopher Walken has just something we've stated?
You're coming at it all wrong.
Yeah.
It's the wrong tone.
You're wrong tone.
Dude, speaking of shitty Christopher Walken impressions, that leads me over to shit stuck in my head this week.
You'll have to go through me. Dad, go, save yourself.
Dad, go, save yourself.
Dad, go, save yourself. Not here, Kansas. Shout out our Batman Returns episode.
Oh, dude, poor guy, dude.
We went on to do great things. Not that impression. I'm standing by it. If he can do a shitty one, we all can do a shitty one, right?
It's in a major film.
So back to this movie. Is Christopher Walken wearing a wig in this?
I don't think so.
I
I
don't
think he
think
just
he
grew
is.
his hair out. Because I've seen pictures of him now, and his hair looks like that
His
now.
hair's
he's
like-
old, he's older and just got crazy hair. He just
If he
doesn't
had
care.
extensions. I don't know what the deal was, but yeah, it looked pretty real. Like
Fred Wolf, who we'll get to, is actually in the movie.
Yes.
I think it was him and Spade co-wrote this, and maybe a couple others. But Fred Wolf has done so much. SNL writer, co-wrote Dirty Work, I believe, involved in the Grown Ups. He's made cameos in probably a lot of our. I think he was one of the guys, the homeless guys in Dirty Work.
yes,
I was laughing so hard I almost shit my pants.
Almost.
one of my favorites.
But yeah, so this guy is another one like we talked about last week. With Spade, where we're like guys that are kind of under the radar.
We need to get him on the podcast, dude,
Shit,
and
I would
talk
love
to
that,
him,
man.
man, dude. Because I feel like so much of his humor is in this, but it just goes unaccredited. Even in fact, his role, a lot of roles in this film go unaccredited to a lot of famous actors. Because we just started talking about it, but there's a bunch of actors in here that are unaccredited, and he's one of them, being one of the main writers, as you already stated. And I wonder sometimes how much of his humor is just all in this, and we don't recognize things he's written and jokes he's been a part of.
And also, I mean, this was a pretty large cast when you start looking at it with casting eyes and movie eyes, where you're like, oh, there were a lot of people in this movie. This was a fairly big production, with several different locations. And
I know there was Jenny and Lieutenant Dan and Bubba.
yeah, which is a good segue into what you were talking about, Shadwick, and which was what?
This movie is basically Forrest Gump.
Yep, 100%. And it's, dude, and it's true. It's
Never realized that.
It's just a flashback, kind of getting you caught up, and then at the end you have an AIDS baby. And so
Walker told me I have AIDS.
Walker told him. I mean, we knew it was coming. R.I.P. Chuck Norris.
Those look like comfortable shoes.
They'd all dress up in their robes and their bed sheets and act like a bunch of ghosts or spooks or something.
It's in there.
It's
all
in there. It's in there. That's why we can't go live. All right, Leaf fans. So opening scene, dude.
Absolutely, though. So the Joe Dirt starts out with basically the character Joe Dirt, obviously played by David Spade, driving his car to work. Leonard Skinner's Sweet Home, Alabama, blasting in the background.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Perfect way to open this one. Set the tone early.
Yeah, he's clearly in L.A. What do you see, Man's Chinese Theater and all the L.A. stuff. And he arrives at work and he's instantly harassed by a security guard played by John Farley.
Don't try and church it up, son. Don't you mean Joe Dirt?
Chris Farley's youngest brother, which I don't
is
think we talked
one
about.
of 3 Chris Farley Easter eggs in this.
Right.
That
So
I will point out as we go. So that's the first one.
This guy's hilarious, by the way.
Dude, he always is funny.
He rips into Joe Dirt, obviously one of the first people that just tears into him, in the film. And
well, Joe Dirt, he says Joseph's irritating. He's like, don't try to church it up, Dirt.
Jeez. And how many times have we used that in someone trying to do, make something sound better than it is, especially at work. God, I should have been fired 1,000 times. I'm like, don't church it up, dirt.
And then one of my favorites, Joe Dirt tries to drive through like the what do you call it? The block, and it like comes down and it pulls off Joe Dirt's like spoiler off of his rusty car. And my favorite line from this guy is like,
"Did he hurt you, baby?"
He's kissing it. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So like there's awkward shit off like from the gate, out of the gate. Like this movie, like it sets the tone right here. But Joe Dirt goes inside. He's the janitor at this radio station.
Sweet mullet showing. I mean, David Spade is all things that is white trash in this, which we talked about in our Spade episode last week. Grew up in Arizona. I think he even talked about he pulled a lot of this stuff from growing up from people around him, or maybe even stuff that he did or whatever. Because I mean, they were kind of country folk. They go out and shoot and camp and all kinds of shit, So I think he pulled a lot of his upbringing into this. Obviously, exaggerated it because he didn't have a sweet car like that.
No, like he in other interviews he said that another reason that people really like this movie, and he said the people in the South like connect with it a lot, and there's a lot of, like you said, I think like he brought a realness to that character. It wasn't just making fun of people who were like in the South. Even though on this watch though, I noticed a lot of it doesn't really take place in the South. I think the Silvertown is in Idaho or whatever. So I was like, wait a minute,
it's not here.
Kansas. I like it was straight. It was strange, and I was like, I always believed, especially because later on one of the other characters, Chris Rock, not Chris Rock, excuse me, Robbie, man, what the hell is his like?
Kid Rock.
Yeah. I
Sorry.
said Chris Rock. Yeah, I think I may have even written down Chris Rock one time.
We're gonna cut all that. Make sure that we don't confuse Chris Rock and Kid Rock.
I'll fix it 1 second.
I got stung again.
Let the sun shine.
Yeah.
And so especially because it stars Kid Rock, and who is obviously a Southerner, and so on this watch though, I just didn't realize that a lot of the movie didn't take place in the South. So that was confusing,
which is funny because like Kid Rock's like from fucking Michigan.
Yeah,
but he's just so ingrained with that
white trash DNA.
Yeah, like it's there. He can say he was born and raised in Michigan. But we all know. I'm like, oh, excuse me, sir, you mispronounced Alabama.
Alabama.
And so Joe Dirt's harassed at work. He's thrown around. He's slammed people, beat him up, harass him.
I think I'm gonna go to the restroom and take a big Joe. Don't forget to wipe your dirt.
But he's just like, this is one thing about, we talked about this in our David Spade episode. He's just relentlessly positive. Like,
right.
He can't.
Yeah, you feel bad for him. Like he's like a piece of shit, whatever. But like the people like pick on him, and he does the.
Boys got something to say to me? Why don't you talk into the microphone? I got a backup mic right here. Check 1, 2. Testing. Yeah, they both working, and guess what?
And they don't take no feedback.
Yeah. He's always got these like dumb little jokes.
One-liners. Yeah.
But he's like you said, but he's always like positive. Like he's always the struggling underdog, I guess.
Yeah, and the people like and this made me laugh too. Is like you do feel sorry for him, but it's funny that he gets shit on no matter like who it is or where he goes, just because of how he looks. He looks just so trashy, and but because of those freakish looks,
nasty.
Yeah, so nasty. The shock jock DJ Xander Kelly, played by Dennis Miller, takes a one look at him and is instantly. And he's like a Howard Stern type character.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, can we go back and talk for just a second about the shock jock era that we have? And like, look, don't get me wrong, when it was happening, I was like, hell yeah. And looking back on it now, I understand why our parents were like, this is all fucking nothing. This is just saying wrong shit for the sake of saying wrong shit. There's no substance to it. Nothing Howard Stern did or like Opie and Anthony did was clever. Like, it was all just shock. Jock was perfect.
I was 23 years old being like, throw that bologna in her ass. Stick it on there, dude. Yes.
Same here. I was like, and then looking back on it, I'm like, just fucking low hanging fruit.
It was so bad, dude.
That he made millions of dollars off of. And,
yeah.
And once he found out that realm wasn't for him anymore because he wasn't making money and he was going to be canceled, he changed his ways, oddly enough, for more money. Weird
dude,
how that works.
Come to Jesus, ironically. Like you know
Weird,
what I'm saying?
Howard, how that works when it's convenient.
But you're right though, because the parallel between the way that Dennis Miller treats Joe Dirt and the shock jock era, with Howard Stern, like he exploited so many people. Like you can name them. Some of
his employees he had around him, he just used to, what Xander's doing right here.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, and that sets the tone for the entire movie. He sees Joe Dirt, who's this freakish white trash looking guy who's a janitor, and he brings him in and basically
like Fred Wolf is the executive producer that finds him in the hall because they need a guest.
Oh, that's Fred Wolf?
Look at you, Jesus. You know what? I got somebody I want you to meet. Why don't you come with me?
That's Fred Wolf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Fred Wolf finds him, and because Fred Wolf has probably my favorite line in this movie. Fred Wolf pulls him in there.
Dude, you were eating off of that.
Dude, that's it. Yep. But he pulls him in there, and Dennis Miller looks at him and he's like,
You gotta see this guy.
God almighty, manna from inbred heaven. Hey, Freak Boy, 1976 called it, wants its hairstyle back.
This starts the Inquisition of Dirty Joe.
Mm-hmm. So the shock jock, Xander Kelly, begins to interview Joe Dirt, and it starts out him ripping on him, making fun of him, and Chadwick's right, like Dennis Miller has some hilarious one-liners. He's just tearing into him, and
he says,
Freddie, go get Freebird Boy here and all access laminate for the show in perpetuity. I'm ringing this chamois as long as I can.
and also like going back to what we talked about with Dennis and David in our David Spade episode, it's really kind of a full circle moment that Spade got to got Miller to come do this role. Which, by the way, I found out this is brilliant too. Filmed all Dennis Miller shit in one day. So you talk about using, and he's throughout the movie.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like Killing Gunther when Arnold's there at the very end, but he's been there the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like I just thought that was really smart.
Yeah.
But
was this around the same time that Dennis Miller was doing? Was it Monday Night Football that he did?
No, I mean he was doing it. Maybe, I don't know. It would have. I think he only did that like 1 or 2 seasons.
I was trying to say, why didn't that work out, Chris?
Because the first line of someone's helmet came off, and he's like, "There's a human head in the helmet."
And I'll quote that all the time.
Love it.
It's so
I'll
good.
never find that fucking clip, but he said it, and it was funny as shit because we saw it and we laughed. But yeah, man, I thought it was just cool. I just thought it was cool that he had this full circle moment here with Dennis Miller, who obviously he looks up to. And helped him out throughout his comedic journey.
And you're right, like he's that consummate professional. You tell Dennis Miller doesn't miss a line. I'm sure some of those are one single take, man. And he doesn't, as articulate as he is, he doesn't trip over any of his words. Like his insults are cutting, biting. Like he's just so good.
He's so good
in this. But that sets the tone because and also he kind of has a little character arc in this, a little development too, because as the film goes on, Xander Kelly kind of gets invested in the story, but
starts to care about him.
Starts to care about what happened to him and what's going on with him, as does everyone else listening.
Yeah, I was going to say before we started, Chris and I, for some reason, had an extra 45 minutes to talk, but we.
You okay, babe?
Okay. All right. I'm letting it go. But
David,
we have
David.
a theory. Chris and I have a theory that all the hot girls it shows listen to the radio, like all the college girls and all the lifeguards and everything. David Spade probably nailed in real life.
No, they're auditioning to be a movie. I did see. I want to say 1 or 2 of these maybe ended up in Grown Ups, or another Spade movie, maybe Dickie Roberts or something.
Okay.
They were just
So I
such
was
a
like-
pleasure to work with. You know what I mean, guys? He just loved working with him so much. He had to recast him.
He's not.
We
But that's the
loved
thing.
her acting.
Yeah, he was not a poon hound except for in his book when he was a poon hound. So there's that.
David Spade, come on.
Might as well lean into it, man. Go have fun. Live your life, homie.
We would have done worse. Let's just be honest with ourselves. So Joe reluctantly does sit down and start to allow himself to be interviewed by Xander Kelly, and just begins to tell his life story. And as Shavik and Chris both mentioned that I didn't realize, it's very Forrest Gump-esque. We basically view the movie through Joe Dirt's flashbacks, right? Like we fade immediately to the Grand Canyon, where he begins to tell the story of his abandonment at a young age.
I just started running.
Yeah. Young Joe Dirt, played by Eric Persullivan of Malcolm in the Middle fame. The youngest kid plays young kid Joe Dirt.
Oh my God, there's Malcolm in Middle.
I'm not a boy.
Yes, you are.
Dude, I did not realize that was that kid.
Yeah, dude, it's a kid from Malcolm in the Middle.
The one that always.
That Family Guy clip.
He's the one that always repeats stuff in a whisper.
Yeah.
Repeat stuff in a whisper.
Yep, that's it, man.
Hey, Dad, look. It's the good stuff. None of that pussy's skull.
And that's another thing about this. So, like, some of this that Joe Dirt's telling you is clearly inaccurate, and he's embellishing it. But we see it as if it's like the
Real,
facts
yeah.
and it's real. And so he's dumpster diving for, it looks like, young Joe Dirt is trying to find the good chaw.
Yeah.
And,
Daddy needs some new chaw.
Daddy
man.
needs some new chaw. But when he comes out of the trash can, he finds his parents are gone, like in a Home Alone situation. And they've accidentally abandoned him. They've lost him, and on this Grand Canyon tour, and he is left alone, abandoned by his parents, and homeless. The cops catch up with him shortly after and put him into various foster care, which is
This one was great. The old lady one, like where she's the old lady, and she's been in other stuff. Like I looked her up, I can't remember what all she was in. It was like way before our time. But the dog's like humping his leg.
Can I push him off my leg?
He'll stop humping as soon as he's done.
So he's constantly abused in various foster care until he decides he's had enough and he goes out on his own. And so young tiny Joe Dirt eventually grows into a teenager. And
I like this too because this is when he just says he just packs up and leaves from the foster home, and it's the music that he's playing, like they're like it's like Bob Seger. I figured you were more of a Leif Garrett. And
I laughed my ass off.
I laughed so fucking hard at that.
Whereas he's wearing like tight
No
spandex.
way, man! I don't like that stuff. I'm a rocker.
Which is a good point to mention because we jump back and forth through the interview, right? Like we have all these flashbacks, but occasionally we jump back to Xander Kelly interviewing Joe Dirt, and they have his little interjections as well as the casting crew, which is there's some funny moments there because we tend to forget that this is in a flashback movie.
Yeah,
and
it's just Dennis Miller peppering stuff in on him the entire time.
He talks about like in that time he learned a bunch of stuff like how cows don't like ball rockets as much as we do, and I did laugh even though it's so like sophomoric, but the fucking lighting the cow fart,
yeah.
And it burns them up. Yeah. And so
flies back. Yeah.
And so young Joe Dirt's sort of wandering around, just lost and confused. But he's always missing his parents, right? He's always trying to he's really wistful.
After all these years, this picture still makes me horny. I mean, wistful. It makes me wistful.
He even wishes on a falling star in one scene, a poignant scene. That he was able to find his parents one day and reunite with them, and it turns out this falling star ends up being a meteorite, he believes, and this is when he thinks his luck is changing. Now, basically, teenage Joe Dirt decides to carry around his lucky meteorite.
Yep. Now full David Spade.
Full David Spade, no longer.
And he carries it into town, and a town is where everybody hates you. and all the kids try to beat you up.
Dude, immediately I love it because like there's these kids flattening. You know how you put like a penny? Has anybody ever done this? Like on a railroad track? Yeah, then it like obviously gets flattened out, dude. Like the kid's lawn is like,
oh yes, it's so flat.
And it makes me laugh because I was just like, that's
40-second take. They're like, Jesus, Jeremy, can you not get this line right?
And they see Joe Dirt, they end up calling him like retarded and gay, and just like for no reason. Like the second that anyone sees him, and it's just like that wig that
I'll make it YouTube friendly. Does this look inquisitive?
The TNT special. Thanks, Chris. The USA version.
Jesus.
Does this look ambiguous?
And so he still has his, like, everybody treats him like shit, but he still has his falling star, his meteorite, his lucky meteorite that he talks to.
Dude, and he finds $5 on the, like, after the bullies get away, it's not worth their time. He sees $5. You assume maybe one of them dropped.
Whoa, what's that? $5. That's mine now. You're my lucky meteor.
And then
what does he do with those $5?
Dude, he's gonna go to Burger Heaven, and he goes and
fucking burger looked good.
Dude, it did. So did that ketchup.
He's eating off the meteor.
He's eating off the meteor, and so he's eating, and you see him kind of fall asleep. That's kind of sad. Like where he's like got a blanket next to his meteor.
That whole scene is sad because remember when he's eating his burger, he sees a family like together. It's like
so terrible.
It's so sad, man. It's
not that I'd ever sell you meteor, but just for kicks, let's find out how much you're worth.
And so he goes and takes him in, and this is one that I noticed that the TV edited version, which I've probably seen more than the one that I actually bought, and he's like, that's one frozen hunk of shit. And then the other one, it's a frozen hunk of crap. Or a frozen hunk of poopy. I think is what
he says both. At first, he says, no,
okay,
that's just a frozen pile of shit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, it's a meteor. It came from the sky.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I believe that, but, and he explains basically the airplanes like dump out their toilets or whatever, and it freezes in the atmosphere. It's just a big frozen pile of poopy.
Yeah, but I think like on the USA or Comedy Central, they don't say shit. They like say on that first cut. But yeah, man. And then you find out that it's poop, and then Fred Wolf was probably my favorite line.
Dude, you were eating off it.
Pointing at.
I don't know why that makes me laugh. The delivery and the timing of that is so
timing, but also it's like he's calling back to a scene that we all saw, and Joe Dirt's telling it. So it's like he's reminding the audience of like there was a scene where you didn't pick it up because you may have missed it, and I did. I'd forgotten about him eating off of it, and I don't know if I was busy doing other things, whether it was a synopsis or whatever. But I didn't see him eating off of it. But I did the first time, but not this watch through, and so that made it funnier.
He's like raking his fries through the ketchup.
They really like. You don't realize what they're setting up at the time, but they really get close shots of him just touching it, even like putting his finger on it and licking it.
Yeah,
frozen chunk of poopy.
One thing I always think about with this part was like, Chris, when you and I worked at the truck place together, you remember I would do all those like Photoshop things of people, like I put their faces like on people from movies or whatever. I did that to a girl that we worked with, and it was Joe Dirt sitting on the big space poopy, and I put the white trashy facial hair on her and everything.
You should do that.
And Shadwick thought it was funny. I mean, she didn't think it was funny, but Shadwick thought it was funny.
You should do that for Patreon so we could be sued for defamation. That would be hilarious.
Well, you got to nag them.
I mean, that's true. But yeah, so this is when you get introduced to our Tokyo Rose of the trailer park. Shout out our homeboy Ronnie. We used to always call Jamie Presley this, though, in My Name is Earl. We would always call her the Tokyo Rose of the trailer park.
The trailer park.
From My Name is Earl. But you get you know, he's walking by because he's stealing stuff. You know, he's stealing a hubcap, I think.
We glazed over it. He's found a town where he's sort of like existing in, right? It's a beautiful town. He loves it, but he's still homeless. Everybody still hates him, so he's living on the outskirts. And he only sneaks into town to steal and food and things he can sell to stay alive, basically. And he's trying to steal a hubcap from this farm or this ranch. And he sees a dog sitting on the porch, like kind of howling and crying. And this dog is unfortunately, for lack of a better term, nuts frozen to the to the porch.
Are you okay, boy? Oh no, your nuts frozen to the porch.
So I thought that was actually pretty funny because he's tending to the dog. Brandy comes out. They finally meet, and Brandy
played by Brittany Daniel,
which is beautiful.
God.
And he's trying to be delicate and telling her like what's going on. Like, you know how like you get your tongue stuck because it's wet and it's cold.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, he's got his nuts stuck to the porch." Like, yeah.
You're like, yeah, that makes sense.
And you see the dog's nuts though. And this it just
they're
looks
like prosthetic, putty.
It's awful. It's so terrible, but that makes you laugh.
And she, you know, he's trying to explain, like, you know, get some warm water and maybe like something flat. She's like, she's like, well, go get something. She first comes out with like the
head trimmers,
clippers, and he's like,
no, ow, that's wrong. No, that's way off.
So he gets a spatula, a la SpongeBob, some warm water, and he's able to get the nuts off the porch,
saving the dog.
Yeah.
And they instantly become friends.
Old Charlie, the dog Charlie.
Yeah, the dog Charlie. Him and Brandy become friends. It has nothing to do with the fact that she's so freaking smoking hot.
And here again, because it's been so long, for some reason, I had Jamie Presley in this role in my head.
In your head? Yeah. I mean, I could see how you get them mixed up, but
I wondered,
Brandy,
I wondered if like maybe she like tried to cast for that role. Because I also kind of get them confused. And then
she nailed it in My Name is Earl.
I had to go bail out this dummy and miss my Brazilian wax.
So I want to talk about that for a second. I love Jamie Presley.
We all do.
Do you think maybe, does she really talk like this? Because she has this accent here, and she has the same accent in My Name is Earl.
I've heard her in her interviews. Actually, on Norton's sports show, she was interviewed. By Kyle, and it's a little bit there, but not a lot. I think that it's just kind of there's a hint of it.
But we're having the time of our lives on it. It's the best job I've ever had. I just laugh all day, and Jason's like having a big brother.
I just wondered if maybe she didn't get some roles because of the accent or something.
Yeah.
Because why the fuck would she not get more roles?
I know, man.
She's from North Carolina, so I think she has a Southern accent, but. I think that she hams it up for roles. I think she lays it on thick, and she does it. But she does such a good freaking job, man.
But I mean, even like Brittany Daniel just adds a hint of a Southern accent in this,
and it works.
And mine's Brandy.
Hi, Brandy. I'm Joe Dirt. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Brandy and Joe start to, drum up this friendship.
They hit it off immediately, man, and some years pass, and they're just like the best of buds, which is weird because obviously she's smoking hot, and that's like the undertones are already there. Like everyone's like, clearly she likes you. Like, what are you doing? And so obviously, this is where we're introduced to one of the main antagonists in the film.
Oh, Dirt, did I get you? No, I'm cool. No, you're not.
Robbie. Who was just like the other mean redneck in the town.
Played by Kid Rock, and Robbie. I guess Robbie is his real name, or Rob is like his real name, and so that's kind of I think that was the wink and the nod on this.
Dude, shout out to Kid Rock, man.
Dude, he killed this role, man.
He murdered it.
How about the fact that like she's talking about her and Joe going to the movies, and Kid Rock or Robbie, he's like, "Hey, can I go with you?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't have enough money for us."
Yeah.
Like, they don't even like offer to pay his own way or like. I mean, hey, I'll pay for you if we can go. You know,
he's a piece.
He's
of
just
shit.
a piece of shit.
Yeah,
I love it.
And he's always, is it always You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet that's playing in his car when he pulls up every single time? And he's always like slings dirt and gravel and shit on him every single time.
But I think back in high school, I looked at my wife at some point. It's like, I'm gonna marry that girl.
And she's like, psycho talk.
she's like, I only got enough money for us.
Yeah.
Curses.
Yeah.
Thwarted again.
Mm-hmm.
Kid Rock plays like the best actual like freaking loser in the entire world. And there's an interview with David Spade, and like he was saying, like talking about Kid Rock, he was like, bro, he was like, one time they were having an interaction, he was like, you're actually one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He was like, why are you such an asshole? And Kid Rock was laughing because, like, obviously he's a controversial, like, character figure right now, especially, like, in political spaces. And you know, David Spade was just like, why do you do this? You're actually such a nice guy. Mm-hmm. And Kid Rock's like, I love it. I love to push people's buttons, and I love to like be that kind of character, which is why I think he
always
does.
Have.
And he always has been. And like that reminds me that, you know, sort of like life is a stage, right? Like the next time you get mad at a celebrity or somebody like doing something, just kind of remember they're just poking.
They're not real.
They're not real. Like in reality, if anyone sat down with Kid Rock, 99% of us would probably
also don't fucking put your stock in what a celebrity says or get emotionally invested in what a celebrity says.
Yeah.
As we cover all of these old movies and make a career out of it.
Yeah.
You know, where's the star that goes across?
Like you said, Kid Rock.
My name is Kid.
And you got the Brandy thing, which is also weird because it's like, so us as the audience are like, why is this hot girl into him? And then I'm just brought back into our David Spade episode and listen to his body count that he had. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this movie is just about him.
Dude, be funny, guys. Be funny, guys.
This is just the David Spade biopic Southern edition. That's all this is.
And nobody could figure it out, including Xander Kelly, who questions his sexuality.
His homosexual street cred. It's not even a good Dennis Miller impression.
It's getting worse as we try.
Now, I don't want to get off on a rant here, but after September 11th, freedom of speech in America has become a topic that's touchier than a Vatican summer camp.
Yeah.
But Joe Dirt clearly, like, it just treats Brandy like a good friend, and she's clearly like into him more than that. Mm-hmm. And so Tom continues to pass. We get this scene that doesn't really have anything to do with the plot if you really actually break it down. But Brandy's alcoholic father, played by Joe Don Baker, shout out MST3K, those of you who enjoy Mr. Science Theater, he has had a lot of bad movies in the past.
For sure, he was like the crooked cop in one of the Fletch movies with Chevy Chase.
Officers, could you excuse us for a few moments? Yeah, why don't you guys go down to the gym and pump each other?
He's often played a cop in a lot of films and is made fun of.
And his character in this, you know, for me, should have went the way of the dodo bird for what happens to poor old Charlie.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
He actually didn't get his comeuppance. I guess maybe they thought with the leg thing he did, but he's obviously an alcoholic. He decides to take the dog on a hunting trip. And on this trip, he's drinking obviously heavily, and he gets his leg trapped
on the railroad track.
In a railroad track. And,
you know what would have been funny is if they tied that back to the kids smashing the penny. If the penny got the track stuck.
Yeah, it got stuck. That's the reason.
That would have been excellent.
So he gets his foot stuck. He sends Charlie as his last-ditch effort because this is not a cell phone having person. Plus, we're early 2000s, so maybe you don't have a cell phone. So he sends Charlie to go get help, and which is one of my favorite cuts in the movie. You see Charlie running through town, and then you just hear,
as he's pounding another dog.
As he's pounding another dog's vash, and So then Charlie goes back to meet old Joe and Brandy, and Charlie's back, and then the police show up, and you see that her dad has had his leg amputated, and he's back pretty fucking fast from having his leg amputated.
And he's still got a shotgun.
Like Joe Dirt even has a line where he's like, "Does your dad always hunt this long?" Like, it's like, is he in there for days? Like, I feel like they amputated a homeboy's leg and got him back pretty damn quick.
So quick, but obviously Jodon Baker, Brandy's dad blames the dog for not saving him and losing his leg, and he pulls out his shotgun.
Where you going with that shotgun?
And shoots the dog.
Yeah.
And it's this like sad, depressing moment. Shadwick's still not over it.
But I do think that this scene does matter because this does set Joe off on his journey. So I think you needed something like this to be in here, but I think we're all just real hesitant. Don't fucking kill a dog.
Don't kill the dog. But like, also, it's like he doesn't really. Well, so him and Brandy have the dog's ashes. They have it cremated for some reason.
Yeah.
And they're gonna dump them in the water. But Joe just can't seem to like part with the ashes, and for some reason they're like looking at the moon, and instead of staying with Brandy, who's obviously into him, staying in the perfect town that Joe seemed to has found, right? Like he loves it here. He can't let his parents go, and maybe losing the dog reminds him of the importance of family. I don't know how we want to spin it, but for whatever reason, Joe does decide he's got to go find his parents, man.
I don't like you trivializing the fact that they cremated the dog, because we did that with our last dog, and that's important. Goddamn, I don't know where they're at. I don't know where the ashes are.
But my mom has a bunch of them too, and we will do the same with ours, I'm sure. Hopefully they outlive me.
That is always the plan when you own a pet. You pray you die first.
He was my dog. I'll do it.
And so Joe can't part with the ashes. He like tapes them up with masking tape, and
yeah, dude, he's done. He's going on the road, and this is funny because Brandy throws him like one of those last hints where she's like,
What if when you're gone, some guy asks me to marry him and you're not here?
Brandy, what's that got to do with me? We're always going to be buddies, right?
And this is the best callback to the Xander show, because they're like showing this clip of him and Brandy standing there, and you just hear the voiceover of Dennis Miller going,
God, that Brandy has a nice ass, doesn't she?
It's like he's telling the story. Did Joe talk about her ass?
She got a great ass.
I know, like that's what I mean. Like it's because they even have another one after this, right? So he tapes it up with duct tape because he's going on the road, and he hops a train towards the big city. Yeah. And I don't remember where it is where you have the cut when Xander is just like,
I mean, I got this loser talking about the moon and walking his dog all the time. I'm thinking about Brandy's well-manicured backyard and those cut-off shorts. Ouch.
Like, how much detail is Joe giving in these stories about Brandy's ass?
Later, even the audience is like, is Joe Dirt too like pathetic for Brandy? Is she too?
Yeah, is she too hot or whatever? And it's like no one's seen a picture of her.
No one's ever seen her. It's the story.
I think that's a pretty funny fucking joke. That's a joke within a joke there.
Yeah, it's like a crossover. So Joe does set out on his big journey to find his parents. That he just can't seem to let go of, and find out why he was abandoned. And so he ends up getting just random jobs, and I think he like gets, what is it? He's passing out
handing
flyers.
out flyers for a dentist.
A dentistry. Like,
and this lady, again, what is it with the fucking old lady saying outlandish shit in comedies, guys? Like,
it's never not gonna be funny.
Always funny.
So this one was funnier to me than most. Like,
yeah.
Because it wasn't just like shock humor. Like it was kind of cerebral. Like she talks about
she established herself like as a normal person, right?
Yeah,
like a lot of times they're just crazy.
Yeah, like a nice old lady, and she talks about her husband dying, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and she goes,
Nah, I killed him. He used to beat me, so one night I just pushed him into the wood chipper.
So I just pushed him into the wood chipper.
I pushed him in the wood chipper. Told the cops he tripped. And then she's like, anyway, so he used to be a police sketch artist, like just glazes over the fact that she murdered her husband and was selling this fucking car. But she tells Joe that, you know, he was a police sketch artist. And so Joe's like, has kind of a vague, you know, remembrance of his parents. So he's like, okay, like maybe I can give them. Yeah. And he's like, she's like, it's $360. And he's like, sweet.
Which was a very specific amount, right?
It was.
Like, I think it was about $360.
But I mean, it sets up for the next scene.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I mean, but it is pretty specific. But then she, you know, he likes her car because also Spade talked about, he used to read those car
Auto Trader?
Yeah, Auto Trader back. He said he actually used to read it back in the day and
Dude,
shit. And like,
I gotta say, I did too. But it is funny, like all throughout the movie. Like there's the scene where I think we're introduced to Robbie. Like he's sitting there like reading, and he goes,
Check this out, Robbie. This is a good month. Dang. This guy's got a dash mat for a 69 Nova he wants to sell, and a car cover for any Dodge from 7984.
hey man, this is a good month. And he's like reading off like the absolute bullshit stuff that people are trying to sell in Auto Trader. He's like, that stuff usually costs $80. This guy just wants $40.
That's a good deal. Yeah.
One day I'll have a car that badass. I'll be chirping gears and pulling Brody's going.
That's good shit. But yeah, so the storm picks up on this whole thing because he's like, he wants to buy her Hemi, and then she's like, you know what, you can just give me what's in your pocket. And he's like, are you serious? So now he's got a new ride. Things are starting to look up. But hey, he's got to go put some bricks in the tooth on the roof so it doesn't blow away.
The big blimp that's the advertisement for the dentist.
Yeah. And so he goes up there.
And it blows away.
And here he goes. And Leaf, you had this in your notes, of course. He's flying. There's an airplane, and then what happens?
He's like above the clouds, like just being blown across the United States. And like he sees a plane, and like Joe Dirt starts to like wave for help because he's like an airliner, not ignoring the fact this thing would be traveling too
There's
fast.
No oxygen up there.
There's no oxygen. It's traveling too fast. Instead of helping him, the fucking pilot just moons him.
Oh, that's not professional.
And how about the sound effect?
Where's his ass?
They always do.
And Joe Dirt just like throws his hands up like he's just exasperated. Like, why is everyone so mean to him, dude?
Why you always gotta be so mean to me?
So the hot air balloon lands in North Dakota. Finally, I guess after it runs out of steam, and it lands at this like oil rig, and it just so happens that the amount for 1 day's or the starting pay,
1 week,
one week's pay is $360. The perfect amount that Joe needs to get the sketch artists and or hire a police sketch artist to help find his parents. And so
I wanted to point out real quick here when we land and he sees that sign. Did you guys notice what this? It's Scotch Oil, is what it's is the name of this. This was actually Chris Farley's dad's place that he worked for. Was Scotch Oil. So this is the second little Farley Easter egg in this.
That's
awesome.
I did not know
was
that.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
David Spade, I obviously had writing credits. You know, he probably threw that in, man.
Oh yeah, man.
That's so cool, man. Shout out. So he does end up working for this oil rig, and of course, everybody is absolute shit to him. They hate him, especially one specific oil rigger that we've had in another podcast. We've mentioned, right? The Tyler Maine plays one of the
fucking Sabretooth. I fucking knew that was him.
Behold the head of your precious queen.
Yep. So from our X-Men episode, briefly tagged, I believe, with Kevin Nash in WCW. Did some wrestling. We talked about actually, I think this was Cowboys' Butts Drive Me Nuts. May have been shit stuck in my head this week for that episode. But dude, this is him in all his glory, and Joe's basically begging for scraps. He
asked him like, "Are you finished with that apple core?"
Yeah, and it was like, finish with that fart if you want that.
If it came out of Charlene Tilton's ass, I'd take a bite.
Yeah, and so they have this back and forth, and he was like, finally, Tyler Bade's character's like, you want to back that up because he's talking about wanting to fight him.
You want to fight? Why don't you stick your head up my butt and fight for air?
And he's like, no, I've got work to do. And then he gets fired. He gets his check, and then it cuts to this fight scene. which is pretty hilarious. And this is the military press slam where, God bless that stunt dude, landed on his fucking neck on that. Like that was pretty gross. But he lands and then goes back over. He's taking a celebratory piss, I guess. And then you can't have a comedy movie without somebody covered in that fucking fire gel. So here we go. And there's somebody just immediately covered in fire. You can even see the glob on their head. Like they just
you know what always makes me laugh when somebody gets set on fire in a movie is how they do their arms like that. They waft them around for some reason every time. It's so funny.
Well, the best way to get rid of a fire is to feed it oxygen.
Yeah, it's to flail. We
That's
were
what I
lied
learned
to.
as a
Don't
kid.
stop, drop, and roll. Plus, he's Sabretooth. I mean, he's gonna be all right.
He's
you know?
He heals.
And then you also get him kissing this hot girl. I don't know who the fuck that was, but she's fucking hot as shit. He kisses her, and his fucking chow's in her mouth. She spits it out.
She likes it.
Keep it skull, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Which is clearly an embellishment in the story, but like no one questions it. Like everyone just accepts
we
it.
just move on. But this is funny too because after he leaves, he's got the money to get this police sketch done, but he stays in an abandoned house that apparently was bombed for insecticide.
He thought it was a circus tent.
Yeah,
and instead it was a fumigation tent.
That cut, like he's kicking his legs back and forth. He's in the fucking sink laughing like with like a mixer or something in his hand. I don't know why. That is the perfect comedic movement shot in this movie. Great. It's like 1 or 2 seconds, and it cracks me up every fucking time.
It's like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where Mila Kunis calls up. She's like, somebody's talking about a woman screaming up there. And, and he's like, I'll keep it down, and it just cuts to him like balled up on the ground. Yeah.
This is the same shit. So he does this police sketch, but his father ends up looking like Father Time, and his mom looked too butch, like Richie Ramirez, the Night Stalker.
He's like,
the star.
Carved into his palm. So he was too high to give an accurate description of his parents. So he's back to square one, and the only thing his brilliant brain could think of is to go to a Native American reservation and hire an Indian to track down his parents.
Hell yeah, man! Which is what we all did. That's why we keep Leaf in our back pocket.
Yeah,
we ever need to track something.
Yeah. Well, also, if we ever lose our jobs, we can all survive off of Leaf's tracking wages.
It's true. Yes.
Yeah, if I'm good at it, because someone coming.
God, I hope so.
Yeah. Shadow's like, I hope that someone is me.
It was me. And so we at a broken down trailer, Joe Dirt meets Kicking Wing, the failed Native American tracker running a failed fireworks stand who has big dreams of becoming a veterinarian. And that's basically the whole character in one sentence.
I want to go ahead and do a Patreon sidebar, fellers. Fireworks. So after he meets Kick and Wing, he lets him know, man, like, you gotta have the good stuff. Like, nobody wants these sparklers and fucking
Kicking Wing
snakes.
But he only likes the snakes and the sparklers.
Yeah, and so obviously Joe Dirt teaches him a lesson. It's like, dude, if you're gonna sell, you got to sell to the consumer. And so Kicking Wing learns a valuable lesson. And but during their interaction, Joe Dirt trips and falls and basically knocks himself half conscious on something.
Hey, I wanted to mention something in this scene I noticed last night. Joe Dirt, his shirt says, "I choked Linda Lovelace."
Yes, and please dive into this one. And I mean every pun in that.
So I had to look up who's Linda Lovelace, and she was Deep Throat.
Right?
So
that pornographic film Deep Throat.
That Deep Throat,
which I have never seen. Actually, I don't. You guys ever seen it?
I've never even seen Debbie Does Dallas.
But I guess
seen a lot
was
of
kind of
stuff though.
Was a lot of people stuck in dryers and glass coffee tables.
Got a lot of growing up to do around here.
Never had a stepmom, but damn it.
Yeah.
What could have been?
So was Deep Throat, was that kind of like a mainstream porn?
Well, that's what I actually looked into. So when you mentioned this in our Discord chat, I was like, I knew what you were talking about because I'd heard of Deep Throat before, but I didn't understand. Obviously, people. This is not our normal conversations, right? We're actually talking about the podcast.
Are we back to cocks again?
And so, Deep Throat obviously was an FBI, or was an informant that actually brought down Richard Nixon.
I'm not a crook.
Like they had, and I was like, why? And then you talked about this Linda Lovelace shirt, which she was the star in that pornography, and I was like, wait a minute. So why is this pornography so like controversial and well known? Because it's just porn. But I found out, like, through research after this in the rabbit hole, that, like, this pornography was one of the first to, like, cross over for whatever reason into, like, mainstream attention. It wasn't just your normal, for whatever reason. We could argue forever about
like
that.
Orgasmo.
Yeah, it was like, exactly. It really was, like, literally the plot of Orgasmo. And for whatever reason, this particular pornography, like, got mainstream attention. I'm pretty sure it was filmed for a few $100,000, but ended up making like $600 million. Jeez.
So,
yeah, it was crazy because.
So having never seen this film personally, I just assume by the name that this chick is doesn't have much of a gag reflex, right? So the shirt in itself is funny, saying I choked Linda Lovelace.
You choked her, yeah.
But fast forward, this came out in 2001. 2002, she died. They found her strangled or died in a car wreck. I can't remember.
Jesus Christ. So, it's not real.
You can fact check me on that.
So that's a nice little back. Again, look in the background. Look at people's shirts, man. You'll get some stories in these old movies, But he does find
Leaf.
David.
Dave.
It was funnier than I knew you were going. I just wanted to see how you do it, and it was just so good. And you're like,
David.
Dave.
It's a funny bone sometimes.
Listen. It's only funny because of the way you It's Linda Lovelace's death is not funny. She was an anti-pornography advocate at the end of her life, and rightfully so. It's ruined plenty of people's lives.
Chadwick has a nice joke on it.
Chadwick wants to make a joke out of it, and it's messed up, but that makes it funnier to me. So, Kicking Wing. Kicking Wing learns a valuable lesson. Yeah. So there's this flashback where basically Joe Dirt decides to shoot fireworks at this atomic bomb. He trips over and it blows up and annihilates Kicking Wing, but it's all a hallucination from Joe Dirt's concussion that he receives. But so he trips over something, and we find out that it looks like a bomb. It's shaped like a bomb. It looks like an atomic bomb that had fallen and didn't go off. And Joe Dirt has a brilliant idea.
There's a little Easter egg right here too.
Is there?
Yeah, Kicking Wing says maybe we should take it to that lab in the next town, Los Alamos. Los Alamos is where. Yeah, Los Alamos is where they supposedly do a bunch of UFO stuff.
That's right.
It's where Bob Lazar worked.
Yeah. Okay.
That is a brilliant catch. I did not actually realize
I
that.
didn't catch that either.
And so, but
well, you're not UFO nerds like I am.
Yeah. So Joe Dirt, because of the hallucination, is like, hey, this is a freaking bomb. So he's going to go use this to go back to the dam where his family was, right? Because they've got to have photos.
Yeah, the Grand Canyon. He thinks that he realizes that there's probably records of his family back then, and so he's just gonna create a heist. Basically, he's gonna hold.
Instead of just going to the town and asking someone, like, "Hey, can I get some records?"
Joe Dirt is not the smartest guy, and so he decides to use this bomb strapped to his back that he believes is a bomb to hold the records office at the Grand Canyon tour area for ransom to get the list of people, which they would they of course
would hand this over.
Yeah, they hand it over to him instantly, anyways, and we find out quickly that the bomb is.
And you show me them boobies.
Dude, that girl too.
Dude, that's
you kind of like that.
That's my girl.
Spade probably nailed her too.
Damn you,
body
Spade.
Count, that's
my new that's my new motto. Damn you, Spade. I know you had her before me.
God damn these chains.
But like the bomb is quickly revealed to be a disgusting septic tank with a biohazard sticker on it. And
so behind the scenes one on this, you know, and he's like, "Ooh, I got the poo on me," or whatever. When he says that shit, like, "Is it finished? Is it done?" That wasn't a scripted line. Apparently, there was like a minute's worth of shit coming out, and he was just like, "How much poo is in there?" Like, but he stayed in the Joe Dirt voice, so they left it in there
because he's strapped to it. He can't
get away
loose,
from
and
it. And it's
just like soft serving all over.
So
it's got
awful.
the poo on him, man. So
it cuts,
the poo on me.
It's cut, and he's showering, and it just the poop joke goes on for so long, and they feel so sorry for him. Evidently, they don't even bother arresting him about it. They give him the names and the shit that he wanted, and he's just like, this punishment is having the shit on him. And we finally,
Xander realizes, he's like, you know what? I gotta have more. He's got to have more. He needs more of the saga of Dirty Joe.
He's gotta
have him come back the next day because he's wrapping up his radio hour or whatever it was that he's here, right?
Come on back, Spudley.
Yeah.
He says he has like hours to fill, and so that's why he has Joe Dirt on, because Joe Dirt's like, "Why do you care about my story?" And he's just like, "Dude, I have like 4 hours a day to fill."
Yeah.
He was like, "Dude, this is gold." Shock jock style.
He's like, "This is gold." You okay, babe?
Well, thank God Joe Dirt's got this next story, because I love Jamie Presley.
Yeah, no shit, man. So he sends him home, right? And then he's gonna come back the next day.
And this is where we find out, like, secretly, Joe. This is like you get a little bit of it. Yeah, it's sad because Joe Dirt like goes home, but actually he's living at the studio. Like there,
like in the janitor closet,
in the janitors, in the boiler room, which Joda doesn't think anyone knows, but everybody knows.
He has a Leif Garrett poster on the wall.
Yeah,
no, not really.
Yeah, I was trying to say, like, if he did, that would be common.
I think he has an Eddie Van Halen poster for real.
Does he really?
Yeah, I think there's an
Van Halen, not Van Hagar.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Fred Wolf was like, "God damn it! Why did I think of that? That'd have been perfect, dude."
He should have called us.
Called us, dude.
We were shooting fireworks in our backyard.
Yeah, we were firing bottle rockets. Yeah, there's faces.
We could have tied that whole penny and railroad tracks thing together for you.
We had it for you, man. So,
but
all right, man.
You can see Joe Dirt misses his home. He misses the Idaho town he was from. You can see that he misses Brandy, dude. Like, it's just, there's something there that's happening that you don't quite understand. And
what
so
a fine wife she would be.
But the next day, Joe Dirt comes back and he tells more of the story, because everyone, not only is Xander Kelly invested, but the rest of the listeners are. It's catching fire. The whole time Joe Dirt's telling the story, you see like flashes of, you know, people listening, and they're invested in Joe Dirt's story now. They're all in.
The girls keep getting hotter and hotter.
Hotter, yeah. The women love
even Baywatch girls. They have little Baywatch ones.
Dude, what was that all about? That scene?
I think we know what that was all about.
Thank you, David.
If you don't know what it's about, go check out our fucking David Spade episode.
Damn you, Spade!
Well, it was to grab all of our attention and this, you know, just snap us back. Hey.
It did. Hey.
Yep.
Over here, guys.
Oh, hey, what's going on over here?
And
okay.
So Joe Dirt parts ways with his new friend Kicking Bird in the next section of the story, and
Kicking Wing.
Kicking Wing, excuse me.
Don't downgrade him like that. What's wrong with you?
That's my cousin.
Don't church it up, Dirt.
My cousin is kicking bird. I'm sorry. And he joins the traveling carnival with the fresh list.
Y'all all have names like that?
Yeah, we all do. My name is Leaf. Come on, brother.
Runs with wheels.
Yeah, pretty much. It's all there. And so
I still take issue with the fact that your name is not spelled Leaf.
I mean, my mom got it out of a book, so she says it wasn't named after Leaf Garrett, but after this episode. I mean, I was born in 1978. Come on, guys. Come on.
The sunshine.
The sun shining. And so Joe Dirt, armed with the names of all of these potential people that could be his parents, joins a traveling carnival to try to track some of them down. And let's just get to it. Jamie Lee Presley, aka Jill, in this film is introduced during this scene.
Little brother gets an extra ride, and I like that. This has this one shot of this kid. He says shit or something, and then he's like, "Don't worry, I'll let you do an extra ride. Like I'm gonna talk to your pretty little friend over here." And the kid's like, "Yes."
And I want to point out that the carnival gag was something from his stand-up, Take the Hit.
Oh,
Yep. He talks about like going to a carnival, maybe with his dad or something.
I played that game where you throw a quarter and try to make it land on a plate sprayed with Pam 50 yards away.
And he's doing the gag in this film. He's got the
actually
Pam
spraying the Pam on there. Yeah.
And so Joe Dirt is obviously one of the carnival workers. He's gotten a job like with his traveling carnival, and he does meet Jill, played by Jamie Presley, and he asks her on a date, man. Like he asks her on the date, and she eagerly accepts, finding out that he has a brand new Hemi Roadrunner. Yes, the throwback to the old lady that sold him the Hemi.
Balls to the wall.
Yeah.
You know what? I noticed this last night. As soon as he got that Hemi, he was like floated off in the hot air balloon tooth thing. So how did he get back to the Hemi?
He got towed.
He actually says it in the thing. He says that like it was towed and impounded for 2 years.
And so the traveling carnival has now gone back to
It's gone back to that area, and he's going to go pick it up.
So
he thinks
it's been impounded for a couple of years. So
I actually do address it, which I agree with Shadwick. If you had asked me about this before I had this watch through, I'd have been like, I don't remember how he got the freaking car back, and that's why, they talk about it, and so
he's going to go. He needs somebody to ride beside him next to the balls to the wall Hemi Roadrunner that he has, and so, dude. Leaf, you want to take this one because we get our homeboy the mechanic.
Very quickly, Shadwick told the story on our David Spade episode, so we're going to glaze over it real fast. Go watch that episode. But, like, he goes to pick up his Hemi Roadrunner because he's got this hot batch in his back pocket. He's going to pick up for a hot date, man. Like, Jamie Presley is eager. She's excited. And he goes to the mechanic, Kevin Nealon, played by Kevin Nealon.
Mm-hmm.
And why is this significant? Well, because David Spade nearly died because of this role.
Because of crazy people in this role.
Just real quick, we'll touch on it.
Yeah, you say it.
His personal assistant, Skippy, wanted to be in this role. Spade had told him they could have it, and then Adam Sandler, who produced the movie through Happy Madison Studios, he called in a favor, wanted Spade to use Kevin Nealon for this mechanic role.
Which is the absolute right choice.
Absolutely, because he was fucking great in it.
Yeah.
And no offense, Skippy, don't come show up in the middle of the night or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dude like apparently snapped and snuck into Spade's house in the middle of the night and tried to at least abduct him, if not kill him.
Yeah, so it's a pretty fucked up story, but so I'm glad everybody can think about that now when they see Kevin Nealon.
Yeah, when you see Kevin Nealon in this role, just remember.
Now because we have to see it. It's like Kane's belly button. Just because I have to see it, now you have to see it. So.
There was a guy that was so mad about this scene that he was going to murder David Spade over it. Like, it's crazy.
In this scene, though, Kevin Nealon, because Joe Dirt does have the line at the carnival about if UNICEF gets in the carnival business, I'll let you know.
No, I mean, maybe one day UNICEF will get into the impound business, but, until then, for the people to see.
And Kevin Nealon's like, there's flies buzzing around him. He's covered in grease, eating like a sandwich, like nonchalant, doesn't give a fuck. So he's got about $450, right? So, Joe's going to have to get this car and take old Jamie Presley out on a date. But he, and this is a funny line too of, he was like, are you having fun or whatever? And she's like,
I had fun tonight, even though you took me to the carnival that I was already at.
So he goes right back to the carnival that she was just at because it's free. And then
he spent all his money on that ride, dude.
And so he's going to go back to her place. We can have sex.
We can have sex.
So Jamie Presley ends up having, or I guess her character name is Jill. She ends up having a sordid backstory, right? And so Joe Dirt starts to suspect she might actually be his sister. Mm-hmm. Because she was also abandoned as an orphan at some point in time. And so he has sort of this moment where he's like, well, she might actually be my sister.
He was making out with her, right?
Yeah, he was kissing her.
He was like...
Oh, yeah, he goes back and he bangs her anyways, and everyone's like so disgusted because at this point in time you're like, dude, that's actually your sister who he was estranged from when he got abandoned, and he's not sure, but it turns out she quells that problem for him. And
I love the whole thing is like he boned her thinking he was, and then he was like, it turns out she wasn't my sister though, and it's like, but you literally went back thinking that was
but
your
you
sister.
Thought it was.
Yeah, and then she wants to have sex again, and she's like, what's wrong?
Well, would it help if you went back to thinking I'm your sister?
Like I'm some sort of white trash perv?
I'm your sister. I'm your sister.
I'm your sister.
You're my sister.
He's banging her so hard the cattle skull falls off
and then it shows all the listeners and everything, and he goes, I'm just making up that last part.
Yeah.
But then I thought it was funny that he says that, and then he turns around and he looks so proud of that joke.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, he's stoked that he made that joke, man.
It's so good, man. It's
dude,
so funny.
Speaking of being proud, man, let's go ahead and plug our Patreon because we have kind of a new announcement on this one, man. So Patreon, as you heard on our old episodes, you can go join for, I believe it's $4.95, $4.99 a month. You get bonus episodes, outtakes, and if you've probably already noticed, if you're audio listeners, the ads have finally got here. Just happens in the growth of a podcast. Eventually ads are going to be on your podcast the bigger you get. Well,
how the hell did we reach that point? That's what I'm asking.
Well, not with anyone's help. I'll tell you that much. Not with any platform's help. With all our fans' help. Thank you very much that we got here. Spread the word. But if you guys want episodes, 48 hours early and ad free, we will now have those on Patreon. So on top of everything I already listed, where we've got, video game content, wrestling content, the Shadwick realm with his doodles, outtakes, bonus episodes. On top of that, you can get our stuff early and ad-free. So go check out Patreon. It's definitely worth your money now, especially if you've heard these ads that are in there. Unfortunately, they're baked in. There's not really anything we can do about it at this point, except for help you out on Patreon, man. So go check it out, Patreon.com/BeKind. Let's rewind. Help us help you there, brothers. And back to it, man.
Help you.
And I mean, of course, I guess we have to say that, we're not making a dime off of this. So
no, why? You know why?
Well, because I'm selfless.
Back to the, he's got his 450.
Armed with $450 in his brand new car. Yeah. Like he continues down the names of the list that he held ransom for. Mm-hmm. Trying to find his family when he runs into old Buffalo Bob, played by Brian Thompson, and damn it, does Brian Thompson freaking nail this role? Famous actor. Been in so many freaking roles.
And this is in one of the Lethal Weapon movies.
Nice night for a walk.
Wash day tomorrow. Nothing clean, right?
Nothing clean, right?
Okay, he was in Cobra 1986 with Sylvester Stallone. He was in Hired to Kill. The Expendables. He's
That's
actually
what I was
made.
thinking of.
He was in Lionheart.
He wasn't the Terminator.
Bro, he was in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He was in Dragonheart.
Dragonheart, bro.
I am the last one.
Yeah, this guy has been in so many different roles, like throughout our childhood. Never really in a lot of main roles, but this dude.
This is great for him to come do this type of role where he just like embraces it, nails this Silence of the Lambs parody.
It puts the lotion on.
This is where this is when the rumors start about like, okay, so throughout the movie after this, they're like, I'm only doing this because of what that Buffalo Bob fella did to you. Or
I didn't even mention this.
It was fine. Nothing happened.
Yeah,
I didn't even mention this in my notes, and I actually found, and maybe we can splice this in. You can find it on YouTube. There's outtakes of this joke. It was supposed to be a bigger joke than it was.
Okay.
Throughout the rest of the film, there's a reference to Joe Dirt's time with Buffalo Bob. People think he was sexually abused, obviously. And he says he wasn't. We didn't see it in the film.
Quiet, he'll hear you.
No, he won't, because I heard he's got 21 ounces of dried sperm in his ears. Buffalo Bob's bitch. Whoa, that's the guy that had his dick ripped off.
Hey, ass muncher.
One guy says something like, I heard he shoved a road flare up your ass.
up your bung hole. But like the big part about this is it's basically unlocking another piece of the story. He finds a picture of basically because Buffalo Bob takes pictures of everybody, he's stalking. And so he finds pictures of his parents' car from the Grand Canyon. So now he's got a make and model and a tag number from what state they're from. And so now
I'm going to Louisiana.
So he's going to Louisiana. Goddamn, boy. And so and this is when you get to meet Christopher Walken and
finally.
Dude, and this is just gold. Like Walken's not in this a ton, but like when you walk away from this movie, you think like he's a main character because of just what a big impact he was. So again, good on David Spade and Fred Wolf for ponying up the money for this and not taking no for an answer, being like, we need him in this role because you do.
Yes.
This is a different movie without Christopher Walken 100%.
Right. So Joe Dirt is now in New Orleans, Louisiana, tracking down his parents, and he gets a job as a janitor at a high school with his fellow janitor, Clem, played, like Chris said, by Christopher Walken, who was born in Kansas, he says.
Yes.
And like it's so funny because
not here.
Kansas.
He was like, "Oh, I didn't know where you were born." Like Joe Dirt's like, "I didn't know where you were born because like you're thick, like New York
accent." He's like,
accent.
"No, yeah." And he's talking about like his, they're talking about their past. And he's talking about his wife.
Is this your wife?
Ex-wife. She was shot 6 times. New York City. I'm in Kansas.
He's clearly, like, obviously a gangster. The witness protection program is obvious.
Like,
it's so
jumps
obvious.
out at the gate. It's so funny, though.
It's so funny. Whoever wrote that joke deserves, dude, the fucking Comedy Academy Award. This is beautiful writing, dude. Beautiful writing,
and you
dude.
get all the Christopher Walken in this. Joe Dirt's. They're both janitors. You see Christopher Walken in the hall. He's dancing with the broom, so you get his dancing, which is always fun.
When he does his monologue in the reflection of
dude, and then he sees
fire.
You're talking to me all wrong. It's the wrong tone. You do it again, I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron.
Like, and then I love this. I love these throwaway lines in a comedy. This kid is like, he's mixing chemicals together, which I forgot what this teacher's name is, that he's been in a bunch of shit too. But like, he's pouring the chemical in.
If my calculations are correct, this will create ice. Oh no! Killer mustard gas!
He just screams it's mustard gas immediately. Like
he's trying to make ice, and
he just fucked it up so bad that he made mustard gas. Like, and I love that he just screams, "It's mustard gas!" and then passes out.
And the teacher and everybody starts falling over. And in this disaster, Clem saves all of these students, but because it's so obvious he's in the witness protection program, he tries to give Joe Dirt the credit.
Right.
Oh, no, man, it wasn't me.
That's Joe Dirt! Joe Dirt! Joe Dirt!
That's Joe Dirt. And he's just doing. That's again another line I use all the time. Like when somebody tries to be like, "Well, no, it was actually such and such that did it," and I'll just be like, "That's Joe Dirt." And
That's
they'll be
Joe
like,
Dirt.
What the fuck
And he gets
wrong with you, Chris?
And in the same clips, trying to get everybody to chant his name so that everybody
Joe
believes
Dirt,
it's
Joe Dirt.
Yeah, it's Joe, and they do. They go along with it in their trauma. They believe that it's Joe Dirt that did the saving, and the news shows up, and Joe Dirt uses that opportunity to basically, ask people like about his parents, but he's so humble. Again, we throw it back to like this relentlessly positive character that Joe Dirt is. This nice guy. He's a little bit of scumbag with the ladies, but the truth is he's a good person, like deep down, and he can't take credit for something he didn't do, and he immediately throws back and says, "Listen, I didn't save those kids. It was my friend Clem," and he holds up a picture of him and his wife.
And then it just immediately cuts to like this house at night.
Okay, this is where that rat bastard lives. You two shoot him low, you shoot him high. I'm gonna shoot him right through his heart. All right, let's go.
Cuts to the news anchor talking about
Yeah,
the officers start trying to,
which is a great way. They sandwich all this shit in like 30 seconds, so you know exactly what happened, what went down, and so this Joe is at the scene. He finds out like, oh shit. So this is my third Farley one. Yeah. Because the guy that stops him when he's trying to cross, the cop is Farley's other brother, or one of. I think Farley has 3 brothers, but this is one of his other brothers that stops him.
Neither of these are the high executive at Ford Motor, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the one that I recognize the most. Like,
he's been in a bunch of stuff.
He's been in a lot of other things. Yeah, like.
And he still has some Farley mannerisms. He even does like a little look down. Like he has a Farley mannerism, like when he's trying to stop him or whatever, kind of overacting.
Yeah.
But Spade wants to talk to Clem's dead body.
Yeah, unfortunately he tells that Joe Dirt that Clem was killed.
Right.
In the gun battle, but that Clem killed all of the other gangsters as well.
It's a big mess.
It's a big mess, and so Joe Dirt wants to have a final word with his friend. He didn't mean to get him killed, dude. He didn't know.
I like the paramedics are. It's the same shit, like in all the movies. Or this, like, can I just have a second alone? And they're like, shit.
They're like, whatever. They're like,
So Clem's like on the gurney. He's like, he's covered up with a tarp or whatever, and like Joe Dirt starts like describing his Clem's wife,
his dead wife.
Clem did. And then all of a sudden, you just see him start pitching a tent.
It just starts to go up with her.
There's your life.
Are you alive under there?
You hear him moaning, though. That's what makes me. He's like, oh.
Nice pert rack. Clem has a talk with him after the erection part, and he lets him know, hey, they're moving him again in witness protection. He thought it was time to move on. Anyway, and so he says, tells Joe to go find, maybe Clem will find a town like Joe talked about, Silvertown, which they hit on through this whole thing, where Joe doesn't realize that's always been his home, but he tells everybody else about it. He speaks so glowingly about
and
Silvertown,
how wonderful it is,
right?
Dude. And everyone, the other characters are like, dude, I want to go to a place like, and it's sort of ironic in a lot of ways. If you look back at the film, it's like that was the moment where like the whole time he was telling people about this place that was like his home, and it sounded so wonderful. It's just like, well, why are you out here? Like, why are you wandering around?
Searching for something you already have.
You already had a long time ago, and like that's sort of like the theme, and it is kind of deep in a lot of ways.
On that, man, because after this, he does go to the car dealership and talk to Bob Bigelow, who's a big fan of what was it, the raspberry babinka dessert from Deuce Bigelow.
Well, it was like when I met your mom. I didn't have so much as a toilet to clean. Still, I wasn't going to pay her a dime for sex, no matter what she was charging.
I always know that dude as Bob Bigelow going forward. He's been in so much shit. Anyway, so he gives him 73 cars that were sold, but he still can't figure out his parents' last name. And is this where he ends up going to the Gator farm, right?
The Gator farm, yeah. Very brief scene.
We'll glaze over this because this is just, you do have the funny, is it Charlene or
The person who owns the Gator Farm is Charlene, played by Rosanna Arquette, unaccredited role, but
Dude,
like
it took me forever to place her last night.
From Pulp Fiction, right?
Yeah.
So her and Walken were both in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, she's the one with all the shit in her face.
Yep, exactly,
Yes.
man. So anyway, the do have this gator gag where Joe Dirt, gets eaten by the gator. I did find out this mold was from the Jumanji gator, and if you look closely, they used CGI to make the eyes blink because the director didn't think it looked real enough without the eyes blinking. And you can actually see, like, if you go back and look at the eyes, they're CGI.
I don't think they were initially going for realism anyway.
He said he didn't. Yeah, I know. That's what but it does add the eyes blinking. If you took that away, it would not be as much as it's still comically funny, man. So
yeah.
But after he almost gets killed, now he remembers. That's why they call you Joe Dirt, not Nunnemaker.
That's why Dad named you Joe Dirt instead of Nunnemaker.
Nunnemaker.
And so now he knows his parents' last name.
Right. And he's able to track down his old family house, which he does in Louisiana. He goes to the house to where the car was sold to, looking for his family, only to be told by a random Cajun, an old Cajun guy named played by Blake Clark.
Former head coach of LSU.
Yeah, that his parents sold the house and moved away, unfortunately, 16 years ago. But it's okay because Eli's almost naked.
They move.
They move, man. And he says, look, man, he likes to see homos naked.
Oh, my man.
No.
Yeah, you like to see homos naked. That's cool, man. Whatever.
No. Home is where you make it.
It's
you
such
gotta
a
get a
good
new hairstyle. God, you out of date, boy. God damn. So you get those gym lines, which always Blake Clark is fucking amazing.
So
all the
funny,
happy
man.
and shit, man.
So funny. He plays that character a lot, dude.
So this is where he finally realizes, man, like, he's like, fuck, like, I guess, like, I should just give up. And then he realizes, like, oh, like, Silvertown was my home all along with Brandy.
As we mentioned, Joe Dirt's character finally realized that he was like, dude, why am I out here looking for my parents? This is a waste of time. My home was with Brandy, was back in Silvertown, Idaho, in the country town. And so he tries to go back there, and he's met by Robbie, obviously played by
Kid Rock.
Not to be confused with Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. Those two are very easily confused.
I want to ask you guys, you think this was an acting choice for Kid Rock? The whole like bouncing back and forth, or you think he was like whacked out of his mind while he was filming this?
I think it was an acting choice.
I think both.
Yeah.
I think both. I think it was an acting choice,
both?
but I think it felt natural.
Yeah.
For him to like kind of have something
Bounce
about
with
his
the rhythm.
character.
Yeah, like not just being stagnant.
But also, like, I mean, if you've ever met like really aggressive guys like that are on stuff or not, like there's people who just are sort of like in your face, like wiry, like they want to like, and I think that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to kind of be like that intimidating figure towards Joe Dirt. Like, I'm gonna fight you.
Yeah,
in any second.
He was just this side of taking off his t-shirt.
Right, and
It's
so
a
you
tank
find
top,
out,
you mean?
Robbie. Yeah, Robbie is like, lets Joe Dirt know, hey, me and Brandy are getting married, and your parents called, or she found out about your parents, and she didn't want me to tell you.
And she left this note, and this is one of my favorite scenes in the entire film, so I only want to pause it.
If Joe calls, don't tell him I found his parents.
That's how me and Chris trying to read.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we listen to audio.
Slowly and terribly, and the whole time, like Joe Dirt's is like rolling his eyes,
I know,
like,
he's
'cause
like,
it's so
"God,
slow.
Hurry up. Yeah.
He's barely, like, Kid Rock's barely literate.
Tell Joe.
Yeah, I know. It's so bad. So
It's my personal.
So the story returns back to the radio station, and Xander, we need some closure, babe, and it's time to go. And make some calls.
Everyone's invested in this story. It's like, okay, well, this can't be the end. You got betrayed by Brandy. She literally found your parents, didn't tell you about it. She's gonna marry Robbie, and like, so you just came to California, and like, that's the end of the story. Like,
So
you're just gonna give
he's
up.
He's not gonna let that be the end of the story. So he calls up Brandy's well manicured backyard in those tight jean shorts.
Damn it!
And fucking lays into her, right?
Dude, he does. And he's, the saga of Dirty Joe. He's invested now, and she lets Joe Dirt know, look, your parents are dead. That's I wanted to be the one that told you. I don't want anybody else to tell you. And then
that's why I didn't tell you.
Right. And then so devastated, you know, Joe's like, damn, you know, even Xander's like, okay, we can stop. Or, you know, he lets Joe leave. Like everybody's kind of, to quote Norm, crestfallen. And
they are, man. They're devastated. Joe leaves the studio. He runs out of only to find that outside he's become insanely famous. He has thronging fans. There at the radio station and obviously all over the country who support him.
He was basically Hawk Tua.
He was. I'm gonna chew on that thing.
Hell no on that thing.
Yeah. Maka, man. So he ends up doing this tour. You see him like a Rolling Stone. It's this montage. And then it shows he finally ends up with Carson Daly on TLC, or TRL, which was a big thing back in the day.
For those of you who remember.
Yeah, it was so Total Request Live, you know. And
on MTV.
And Joe like is distracted by the fans outside the
like
window.
that window, don't you?
Yeah, and you just see him kind of being the lovable guy that
he kind of gets lost in like the fame, you know, and like
Right.
yeah, he's just devastated by, you know, his parents being dead, but he's just sort of living his own life at that point in time, like enjoying the fame that he's gotten from his story, and
then the phone call comes in.
Joe Dirt's parents ain't dead. I'm looking at his father right now, and I'm his mama.
It is funny to think about the parallels to like a character like this getting this notoriety. Like, you guys remember that dude that chopped somebody up with a hatchet?
It's like, remember that brutal murder?
I used to work for a married couple, and they their sons were in one day, and they were like young teenage sons, and they were arguing back and forth or whatever. And I can't remember if it was the dad or the mom, but they said that like,
"That's where you want to be when Jesus comes back."
And dude,
and I was over in the corner going,
yeah. And so this is the sidebar I kind of want to talk about briefly is because he's going to go meet his parents, and that's played by Caroline Aaron and Fred Ward.
Yes.
This was originally supposed to be Roseanne Barr and Gary Busey, which is insanity for me.
Wow.
And so I got two conflicting stories on this, so I don't know what's real. One of them said Roseanne and Gary Busey didn't like the script. They maybe didn't show up after they read it at some point in time and then just bounced.
But she was fine with She-Devil?
Yeah, she was fine with She-Devil, but this was where she drew the line. The other one I read that probably is a little more correct is I think they just went off script and they ad-libbed a whole bunch of shit, which means if that one's true, there's an assload of Roseanne Barr and Gary Busey as his parents out there.
God damn it! I thought the bitch was white!
So I guess then I read Fred Wolf got the cuts back or the dailies back, and they were like, fuck this, we got to recast them. This is not going to work. And then you got what you got here, which is, good. Fred Ward, Caroline Aaron did a great job as his parents here. Basically, all they're doing is they're trying to sell their clowns. They're using him, and you find out that like they're just shitty human beings. Trying to, they left him on purpose.
Intentionally left him, yeah.
They left him on purpose, and you find all this. So he's fucking pissed off. And he's done, and so he's gone to, like as one does, goes to the nearest bridge, and is like,
we've all thought about it.
Yeah,
it's fine. You don't do it, but you think about it.
Yeah, but you're there. Sometimes the wind blows you back, but he's there, and so he, they're like everything that his life's been about has just been shattered.
Yeah,
and so he's done.
Even his friends have betrayed him, like even Brandy. And
Brandy lied to him. He doesn't know why she lied to him.
Yeah.
And then finally, Brandy talks him off the ledge.
She shows up knowing that he's about to jump off the bridge.
Yeah,
and
she's like trying to maneuver through the crowd, and the cops hold her, and she's like, I'm Brandy. And he's like, oh, you're Brandy? Like, you're the Brandy?
Yeah.
Why didn't you say so?
He's like, why didn't you show me your well-manicured backyard?
I said, God damn, God.
And so she talks him off the ledge. She tells him the truth, the final truth. She's like, look.
Once I met them, I knew I had to protect you from them. They're bad people. You're not like them, Joe.
He realizes
you always had a home,
right?
Yeah, he always had a home back where he was. He was just didn't want to accept it. And Joe Dirt sort of comes to terms with all of these truths and realizes where he belongs. But unfortunately, the police rope him with the bungee cord.
And he falls, and then he ricochets back or bungees back up, hits his head,
cracks the skull on the back of the bottom of the bridge as he falls off. And the scene cuts, and when he comes to, he's surrounded back in Silvertown by all of the previous cast. We see
like the
everybody.
Wizard of Oz thing, right?
Yeah,
like,
dude.
You were there, and you were there, and
and he thinks everything was a dream, but everybody tells him it was all real. And so we've got Clem. I can't remember what he says his name is now. He's changed
Gert
from
B. Frobe.
What?
Gert B. Frobe, man. Don't ask me why, but
Charlene, she's now missing fingers from the alligator.
Luckily, not a ring finger though. Yeah.
Not a ring finger. She still has that one. So
hell no, damn alligator bit my hand off.
So they got together. They're married. Kickin' Wing has expanded his fireworks stands all across the nation. Now they fund his vet,
his animal shelters.
He's the vet. And then Brandy lets him know, like, hey man, like you've got a family here now. You better take good care of us. And you see his new hairdo, which he's got dreads now.
Yeah, I thought that was a terrible payoff. Like,
nah, it was just what it was. I laughed in 2001, and so they go, they go outside.
It comes out looking like
fucking
was that band?
the dude from Counting Crows.
Counting Crows.
yeah. And so you found out Charlie had a puppy, and so now he's got Charlie 2, all of the Simpsons. And everything's got a nice tidy bow on it. And then Robbie pulls up as they're about to, they got Joe's Hemi back too. Robbie pulls up, and they're gonna have a nice, what if we are his family? You get that nice line from Clem,
Your tone's all wrong.
It's wrong tone.
Stab you in the face with a soldering iron.
And so they're going to have a race. Of course, Joe destroys Robbie, breaks his windshield, gravel, and all this
He
kind of
finally
shit.
puts, because you mentioned Robbie was always scattering gravel all over Joe.
Yeah.
This time Joe gets the best of him. He cracks his...
Yeah, when he first shows up, he like sprays Joe with all that dirt. He's like, oh, did I get you? He goes, no, I'm cool. No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not.
And so the drives off into the sunset. They shoot a firework off. It's real cheesy, but nice, warm, fuzzy ending. I liked it. Thought it was a bow on everything.
I miss those endings, dude.
Me too.
I'm sorry to say it.
Fun. It was a fun movie.
Yeah, I miss happy endings.
It's a movie that has just, I don't know, you walk away feeling good from it, a lot of laughs. You feel good about it when you leave. Guys, from the movie Joe Dirt, what is your favorite line? And I gotta lead off with it.
Dude, you were eating off it.
I don't know why. Fred Wolf, shout out, man. Love that line.
It's such a good
shit.
line, dude.
What you got, Leaf?
Bro, okay. It's going to be a throwaway, but I'm sorry for this film. It makes me laugh every single time, dude.
If my calculations are correct, this will create ice. Oh no! Killer monster death!
So dumb.
So
funny.
So look, I know there's like a ton of quotes in this that people talk about all the time. I'm going to go with the one that made me laugh the most last night when I watched it.
It's boring and dull. I'm yawning. That's a snail watching that.
There's a snail in the desert.
Yeah, a spaceship dropped him off. Don't focus on the wrong part of the story, brother.
Dude, thank you guys for joining us for this podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, all those fun things. Hit us with 5-star on the audios. Check out our Patreon, man. Get that ad-free biz up in your shinshi ear. And guys, with that, we'll take it over to our Norm Macdonald clip of the week.
This week, in a secret ceremony in Australia, Michael Jackson was married for the second time. Asked what makes his new bride special, the King of Pop said, quote, She has taught me about the power of imagination, like imagining that a grown woman is a 10-year-old boy. You know he's a homosexual pedophile, right? You understand?